Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss about three-phase full controlled converter fed separately excited DC motor. So you can see this is the circuit diagram of three-phase full converter, and it is feeding a separately excited DC motor having an inductance of LA, which is armature inductance, RA armature resistance, and the back EMF EB. And this motor is going to excited by a separately excited field, and this field can be excited with the help of any of the converter, any of single phase or three phase supply with feeded by semi controller full controlled converter. Using any of the converter, this field is excited. With the help of this field, this motor will be excited. Okay, and we know for three phase full converter, you can see here this converter contains 6 switches, and all the 6 switches are thyristor controlled switches. Please mute. So all these 6 switches are thyristor controlled switches, which means controlled switches. Okay, so namely T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. So total 6 switches, and the naming of these switches are given according to the switching sequence. Means initially T1 will be triggered, after that T2, after that T3 will be triggered, and T4, after that T5, after that T6. So this is how the triggering will be happening. So based on this sequence, the switching numbers are given according to the sequence of triggering. Okay, so here we are having 6 thyristors, and top 3 thyristors are called as positive sequence thyristors, and the bottom 3 thyristors are called as negative sequence thyristors. These are positive sequence thyristors and these are negative sequence thyristors. Okay, so here also the operation is very much similar to the semi-controlled converter. However, in the semi-controlled converter, we are having 3 thyristors and 3 diodes, but instead of 3 diodes here we are having 3 plus 3, total 6 thyristors. Okay, and here the conduction duration will be based upon the pairing of thyristors, which means sometime T1 will be paired with T2 and sometime the T1 will be paired with the T6, and this time period completely depending upon their operation. Generally for a single cycle of a sinusoidal supply, which is a 360-degree supply, for a 360-degree supply, the thyristor pairs, suppose the pairs means T1 T2 combination and T2 T3 combination, similarly T3 T4, and similarly T4 T5, and T5 T6, T5 T6, and T6 T1. So these are the 6 combinations of thyristors, total 6 combinations: T1 T2, T2 T3, T3 T4, T4 T5, T5 T6, and T6 T1. So out of these 6 combinations, total these 6 combinations have to cover 360 degrees of sinusoidal waveform. So which means 360 by 6. which gives 60 degrees duration for each combination. So each combination of thyristors will conduct for 60 degrees. So total 6 combinations. So 6 into 60, you will get 360 degrees. So, and here you can observe T2 will be in 2 time slots. Similarly, T3 will be in 2 time slots. Similarly, for rest of the thyristors also, each and every thyristor will be in the combinations of 2 slots, which means here, if we consider T2, T2 will do this 60 degrees and will do this 60 degrees. Total T2 covers 120 degrees individually. Similarly, T3 also, T3 will conduct for this 60 degrees and T3 will conduct for another 60 degrees here. So totally T3 will also cover 120 degrees. The same case with the T4, T5, T6 and T1. So which means each and every thyristor individually it will conduct for 120 degrees, but with the combinations of other thyristors, which means T1, T2, T2, T3, like that, with the combinations of other thyristors, the combination will do only 60 degrees. Okay, so you can go through the detailed operation in any of the power electronic textbook. Now, if we fire thyristor T1 and thyristor T2, then the current direction will be from EA to thyristor T1, thyristor T1 to motor inductive winding LA to the resistance RA, and through the EB, back EMF EB, and thyristor T2, T2 to EC. This will be the current direction when thyristor T1 and T2 both are in conduction mode. So this will be the current direction. Here the current enters at this point, the current enters to the motor. Okay, you know that this full controlled converter is a 2-quadrant converter. In the single phase also we have seen the quadrant operations, because if we consider current on the x-axis, voltage on the y-axis, here the output voltage and output current combination of this full converter will be in 2 modes, 2 quadrants, namely first and fourth quadrants. This is first quadrant. In this first quadrant, current is positive, voltage is positive. And this is fourth quadrant. In this fourth quadrant, the voltage is negative, but the current is positive. This full controlled converter is capable of producing negative voltage. This is because of inductive effect, and this negative voltage leads to regenerating the power, which means motor for some time the motor will act as a generator, and it will supply its own power, generated power, to the supply 3-phase terminals. That is the operation of regeneration. And this regeneration completely depends upon the firing angle alpha. As we discussed in the single phase supply, the same thing will be happen in the 3-phase also. So this operation can be divided into 3 types. I'll describe it later. First, we will see the individual operation, phase-wise operation. Okay. So here A phase 2, EA phase 2, thyristor T1, thyristor T1 to the LA to RA, RA to EB to thyristor T2, T2 to EC. So here the voltage produced will be EAC. The voltage peak for this mode will be EAC. So this EAC will be appeared across this motor, which means the peak appeared at the load voltage will be EAC. Means this is the peak voltage, like this peak will be appeared. Similarly, when we trigger EB, from EB the current will flow from EB to T3, T3 to LA to RA to motor back EMF EB, and EB to thyristor T4 to EA. So for this case, the output voltage will be like this, and it is EBA, because it is starting at the B phase and ending at the A phase, so it is EBA peak. So this is second. And here also you can observe the current direction, it is entering at this point only. And similarly, if you see from EC, if the thyristor T5 is triggered, then from EC to thyristor T5 to LA to RA to EB, and EB to T6, and T6 to EB. This is B phase. This EB means back EMF of the motor. Don't confuse. Okay, EC, from EC to T5 to LA to RA to back EMF of the motor, from back EMF to T6 to EB. And this pulse will be, if you draw that pulse, then the output voltage or the load voltage pulse will be like this, and the magnitude of this pulse will be ECB. ECB. So this is how the current direction for this third phase will be, and you can observe for all the three current directions, the current is entering at the same point, which means the current is unidirectional for all the operating modes, which means the load current is a DC current. Unidirectional current is nothing but a DC current. So this is how we'll get the DC current across the motor. And these are the pulses that going to appear at the load voltage. So detailed waveforms we will observe in the next slide. And here, this is the operating sequence of each and every pair of thyristors. Now you can see here 30 plus alpha, because yesterday I have told you why this 30, because up to pi by 6 previous mode of operation will be activated, which means a thyristor T6 will be in conduction mode. Up to pi by 6, thyristor T2 will be in T6 will be in conduction mode, pi by 6, and this is pi by 6, not pi plus 6, pi by 6. So up to pi by 6, thyristor T6 will be in conduction mode, which means up to 30 degrees, thyristor T1 cannot be fired. So that is the reason why here 30 plus alpha will be considered. So from 30 plus alpha, thyristor T1 will be triggered, and the conducting pair will be T6 and T1. Why T6? Because T6 already previously conducting, so T6 will be there. T6 will be in on condition only. So T6, now we are triggering T1. So T6 and T1 will be conducting, and the output voltage will be EAB, like we have seen. Similarly, for 90 plus alpha, we will trigger T2, and the thyristor pair will be T1, T2, and EAC is the output voltage. Similarly, for 150 plus alpha, T3 will come. So T2, T3 will be the pair. See, now you can observe T1 is sharing here. Similarly, T2 is also sharing two groups. Similarly, T3 is also sharing two groups here. T4 is also sharing two groups, and T5 is also sharing two groups, and similarly T6. So each and individual pair will conduct for 60 degrees. So that means 30 plus alpha to 90 plus alpha. The difference between these two intervals is 60 degrees. That is the reason why each and every pair will conduct for 60 degrees. But when you consider individual thyristors, T1 120 degrees, T2 120 degrees, T3 120, T4 120, T5 120, and T6 will conduct for 120 degrees. And these are the line voltages for a single cycle. These are the line voltages applied across the load for a single cycle. And the voltages, the waveforms will be, so these are the waveforms for different alpha angles. So this is the three-phase sinusoidal waveform, which is the supply voltage. And here I have shown for three different alpha angles, alpha 60, alpha 90, and alpha 120. For three different alpha angles, these graphs are shown here. See, for all the three alpha angles, the load current, see here, this is IA. IA is nothing but armature current, which is nothing but our motor current. Our motor is the load. So that is the reason why this is called as load current. This is continuous. For alpha 60, this is continuous. For alpha 90, this is continuous only. And for alpha 120 also, this is continuous current. So for all the alpha angles, the load current is continuous. However, you can change the, you can see the change in load voltages. See, that is for alpha 60. And now you can see for 90 degrees of alpha, you will see the load voltage like this. And for 120 degrees of alpha, you will see the load voltage like this. This is because of two quadrant operation of full controlled converter. Up to 60 degrees of alpha, when alpha is less than or equal to 60, then this motor, the separately excited motor, will continuously working under motoring action only, because up to 60 degrees you won't find any negative peak. See, you won't see a negative peak here. So alpha less than or equal to 60, then we won't get any negative peak, which means completely motoring action. So for alpha less than or equal to 60, completely it is motoring action. And alpha greater than or equal to 120 degrees. When alpha is greater than or equal to 120 degrees, it is completely generating action. Completely of generating action. Now you can see this waveform, which is for 120 degree. Now you can see you cannot find any positive part here, because the full converter is acting under regenerating mode, which means it will produce energy and it is feedbacks to the three-phase supply, which is regenerating mode. So that is the reason why here we will see all the negative pulses only. There is no positive pulse. Where alpha greater than or equal to 120, we will get a regenerative mode, generating action. Alpha less than or equal to 60, it is motoring mode. What about alpha 60 to 120? When alpha is in between 60 to 120, we will see this type of waveforms, which means we will have both positive peak as well as negative peak, this type of waveforms. Okay, so based on the firing angle, we can control the motor. Means some of the applications, sometime it will means the motor need regenerative action. Sometimes it will need motoring action. So based on the condition, we will operate the motor in motoring action as well as the generating action. But this condition cannot be achieved with the help of semi-controlled converter. In semi-controlled converter, it is a single quadrant operation. So the applications where it requires regenerating operation, in those applications full converter is mostly preferred, because full converter is having an extra capability that it can regenerate the power. It can regenerate the power and feedbacks to the supply. So that is the most advantage about full controlled converter when compared with the semi-controlled converter. And these are the waveforms which is shown for three different alpha angles. And similarly, we can derive speed torque relationships, for the full control, three-phase full control, three-phase full controlled converter fed DC separately excited motor. Now this equation, you already know this equation can be written with the help of a KVL equation. And from this equation, here EB is K phi into N. And from this equation, you write N is equal to you will get this one, which is EA minus IARA by KA alpha, where EA is the average voltage. This average voltage can be easily determined with the operation already you have derived in the power electronics also. The EA is equal to, for three-phase full controlled converter, the EA, which means the average voltage will be 3√3 by pi into EM cos alpha. So this is the average voltage, whereas the average voltage of a semi-controlled converter will be 3√3 by 2 pi. Here you will get 2 for semi-controlled, and EM into 1 plus cos alpha. There you will get 1 plus cos alpha. But here in the full controlled converter, the EA will be 3√3 by pi into EM cos alpha. So this is the difference between the average voltage equations for semi-controlled converter and full controlled converter under three-phase supply. And substitute this EA here. Okay, that equation you can substitute here. And this is the speed current relation, speed and armature current relation, but we need to derive this speed and torque relation not with the armature current. So using this relationship between torque and armature current, you simply replace IA as a torque by K phi. Now substitute IA is a T by K phi here, you will get the speed torque relationship like this. So this is the final expression for speed torque relationship, where EA is the average voltage, which is 3√3 by pi into EM cos alpha. Substitute here. And from this expression, we can derive, we can draw the speed torque characteristics and the speed torque characteristics for different angles of alpha and different torque and different speed values. You can see like this, because here also the torque is negative coefficient of speed. So that is the reason why we are getting a decaying linear curves, because of that negative coefficient. And you know, when alpha is 0, we will get the cos term maximum value. So the voltage will be maximum. So the speeds for alpha 0 is maximum when compared with alpha 30 and alpha 60. And when the torque is 0, which means under no load condition, the speed is also maximum, because in this expression, if you substitute a torque T is equal to 0, this negative term, entire negative term will become 0, which means we will get the maximum speed. Okay. So these are the speed torque characteristics of three-phase full converter fed separately excited DC motor. And you know, we have discussed that semi-converter is a single quadrant converter and full converter is a two-quadrant converter, first and fourth quadrants. So you can observe how the two-quadrant operation will be attained by changing the angle of alpha. So this graph is plotted for output voltage versus alpha here. So you can see in the x-axis it is alpha. Alpha is changing from 0 to 180 degrees, and this is in the y-axis it is the voltage. If you substitute, please be in mute. So when we substitute alpha is 0, we will get the maximum voltage for semi-controlled converter as well as the full controlled converter. But if you increase the alpha, the semi-controlled converter will get will become 0 at 180 degrees. So this semi-converter will give only positive output, which means from 0 to 180 degrees the semi-converter voltage will be like this. At 180 the semi-converter voltage will become 0. But comes to the full converter, when alpha is 90, you substitute alpha is 90, the full converter becomes 0 at 90 degrees, which means the average voltage at 90 degrees of alpha will be 0. After 90 to 180, you will get the inversion operation, which is regenerative operation. The same thing you can see with the help of equations also. Average equations we have derived. So now you substitute here, when alpha is 0, substitute alpha is 0, you will get 3√3 by pi into EM, which is the maximum value. And substitute alpha is 180 degree, cos 180 is -1, which means minus 3√3 by pi into EM. So minus means it is operating in fourth quadrant, which means at 180 degree of alpha, you can see the inversion operation, which is at the maximum value. Okay. So the full converter having this advantage over the semi converter. So this is about 3-phase full controlled converter fed separately excited DC motor. Thank you.